Now, for more on this, let's bring in the CEO of the Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum, Dave Rohrer. Before that, he spent years working in aircraft accident investigation with the Transportation Safety Board of Canada and Transport Canada. Dave, Delta's saying that this is a Bombardier CRJ 700 aircraft, which is a Canadian plane. Has this plane had any safety issues in the past?
Well, it's the same type of airplane that was involved in the Washington, D.C. midair. But other than that, I mean, the airplane has a good safety record.
Do you take that as a coincidence, that two exact Canadian planes involved in two separate incidents?
Yeah, totally separate and unrelated incidents. It's coincidence.
Okay, so it's not the airplane. The airport's saying on X that whatever happened post-landing. In your experience, what could have happened that would have caused this airplane to roll on its back?
Well, the things you have to look at initially, and the investigators will, is very strong crosswinds, 60 degrees off the runway 33. So one of the questions would be, why were they using runway 33 and not 24? The other question would be, what was the runway surface condition? And the other question would be, what was the experience and background of the pilots in strong crosswinds on contaminated runways? And the other issue would be to look at the exact breakup of the airplane and how it ended up upside down.
There's so many questions when an incident like this happens. As a former investigator yourself, where will the Transportation Safety Board start when they begin their work, which I assume has already begun?
They've started. The team is here. The GO team's here. The first thing right now is a site survey, detailed site survey, where everything is, how it got there, what departed from the airplane, where it is, what was the mode of failure, overload. For example, the wings are ripped, the right wing is ripped off for sure. They want to document all that. They'll want to get the weather. They'll want to get the runway surface condition. They'll want to get the black boxes, the FDR, CVR. Thankfully, we have a crew. Hopefully, they can interview the passengers. They'll want to interview the passengers as well. Hopefully, the 15 injured and 3 critical will pull through. And so the data is all there. So the investigation in terms of gathering the information, it'll be one of the easier investigations to do that on.
When you look at the photos and the video from this crash, it looks pretty incredible, this plane on its back, yet officials are saying only one person in critical condition. Is this a miracle?
Well, it certainly is, because, you know, when you get on an airplane, how many people think about getting out of an airplane upside down and what that would cause in terms of injury if you undo your lap belt without preparing for that? So certainly, yes, and I understand there may be even more critical conditions. So it is an accident. It's been reported as an incident. It is an accident. There's major structural damage. There's serious and critical injury. It's an accident, and there will be many lessons that come out of this to prevent it from occurring again.
We're understanding that Pearson's getting ready to resume flights, or they may have actually already begun resuming flights. What do you read into that regarding the severity of this incident?
Well, I would think that if, I mean, obviously Pearson is such a large international busy airport, they would want to resume flights as soon as possible, as soon as safely possible. So the runway conditions, the winds, and of course preserving the evidence of this accident site, they'll probably switch to the other runways if the TSB needs to, and they have control. The TSB has control of this accident site, so until it's released, they can't use this runway. So they'll probably use adjacent runways. All
right, that's Dave Rohrer from the Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum. Dave, thanks for being with us.
Good, Matt.